February 10th, 2025, White House Oval Office, 2:37 p.m. The president assembled three leaders on the same video conference screen: Canadian Prime Minister, Mexican President, and himself. Topic: the future of North American partnership. But this wasn't an ordinary meeting. This could be the end of a 30-year order. Because on the table, there wasn't just trade, there was migration, drugs, water, energy, and weapons. Let's go to 1994. NAFTA was signed, North American Free Trade Agreement. Bill Clinton said, "This agreement will bring peace by enriching all three countries." Mexico was hopeful, Canada was cautious, USA was profitable. 30 years later, reality was different. US-Mexico trade exploded. But factories moved from Detroit to Tijuana. Jobs went from Ohio to Monterrey. American workers said, "We've been betrayed." Mexican farmers said, "You destroyed our corn." Canada quietly won. Exported energy, sold lumber, protected water reserves. But it knew one truth: USA could change the rules whenever it wanted. 2025, that's exactly what was happening. February 5th, 2025, Trump made a statement on Truth Social. NAFTA is dead, USMCA is dying. We need a new order, America first, but not America alone. Canada and Mexico must decide with us or with China. That message was an earthquake. Because Trump had said it clearly: either you're our partner or you're a rival. Canadian Prime Minister responded within 6 hours. Canada is not governed by threats. Partnership requires mutual respect. Mexican President was harsher. Mexico is not USA's backyard. We give our sovereignty to no one. But behind the scenes, there was panic because Mexico was dependent on USA. 80% of its exports went to USA. If Trump erected tariff walls, Mexican economy would collapse. Canada was slightly freer, but most of its oil, natural gas, lumber exports went to USA, and water, Colorado River was already starting to dry up. USA had set its eyes on Canada's Great Lakes. February 7th, 2025, secret meeting. Pentagon was planning Mexican border operations. Topic: cartel threat. But the real topic was different. Mexico's northern states were full of strategic mineral resources, lithium, rare earth elements. China was investing there. USA saw this as a threat. A Pentagon analyst said in the presentation, if Mexico makes an energy deal with China, our national security is at risk. Question: so what should we do? Answer: pressure, economic, political, military if necessary. February 8th, Canadian intelligence reports were shocking. USA had classified Canada's water resources as strategic reserve, meaning in a crisis, USA could take water by agreement. But if Canada refused, then not agreement, but national security operation might be needed. Canadian Water Security Minister presented a report to Cabinet. USA is treating us like a boss, not a partner. We need international agreements to protect our water rights. But who could they trust? UN? NATO? EU? None could stand against USA. February 10th, that critical video conference, three leaders on screen. Trump started, "Gentlemen, let's face a simple truth. The world has changed. China is building bases in Latin America. Russia is positioning in the Arctic. If we don't act together, we all lose." Canadian Prime Minister. Acting together doesn't mean one country pressuring another. Trump: pressure, I'm talking about facts. Who buys your oil? Who buys your lumber? We do. And if we don't, who will? Mexican President. Mr. Trump, partnership is not one-sided. You want us to stop migrants. But why do our people migrate? Because NAFTA destroyed our agricultural sector. Your subsidized corn bankrupted our farmers. Trump: then the solution is simple, a new deal. But this time, I set the rules. Silence, 14 seconds. Canadian Prime Minister, rules cannot be set unilaterally. Trump, they can be. If your alternative is China. That sentence summarized everything. USA wasn't looking for partners anymore. It was looking for satellites. February 11th, meeting ended, no agreement. Just tension, but on February 12th, something changed. Chinese foreign minister visited Mexico. Topic, new economic corridor. China offered Mexico $50 billion in infrastructure investment, ports, trains, energy. In return, Mexico would sell rare earth elements to China. USA went crazy. Then February 13th, Pentagon prepared emergency scenario. If Mexico signs deal with China, economic sanctions would begin. Border could be completely closed. Military exercises could intensify at border. The general asked, is this war? Answer, no, but it could be. February 14th, Canada quietly moved. Prime Minister called EU leaders. Message, USA is cornering us. We're looking for new trade partners. EU was cautious. We want trade with Canada, but we don't want to oppose USA. Canada was left alone. February 15th, Mexico decided it didn't sign deal with China. But the reason wasn't fear. There was another game. Mexican president held a secret meeting. Topic, Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico partnership. Latin America was forming its own bloc to break free from USA dependency, and this bloc would trade with everyone, not just China. February 20th, Trump made a new announcement. North American Security and Prosperity Alliance would be established. But this wasn't free trade. It meant joint defense, joint intelligence, joint resource management. Meaning, USA wanted to make Canada and Mexico's water, energy, and mineral resources a common pool. Canada and Mexico quietly refused. Today, December 2025, North American partnership still exists on paper. But in reality, cracked. 3 countries don't trust each other. USA wants control, Mexico wants freedom, Canada is trying to survive, and the world is watching. Because if North America fractures, the global order fractures too. The truth is, partnership requires equality, but USA doesn't want equal partners, it wants loyalty. And that loyalty will explode one day. And if you want to hear the truth, subscribe. Because this war is just beginning.